Alright, I want to talk for a moment or two about my Iridium Extreme 9575 satellite phone. I purchased this phone about a year and a half ago, and I purchased it because I like to go on long distance trips. One of the things that I found out on trips in the past is that conventional cell phone networks, although they claim a lot to be nationwide coverage, don't necessarily mean the entire nation. There's a lot of spaces and places where conventional cell phone networks do not cover. They tend to be centered or focused on really well-populated areas. There's no need if there's a large expanse of land where there's nobody staying. So once you start getting off of some of the main highways or into some smaller towns, you tend to lose cell phone coverage. So I purchased this so if I need to be able to make a call for whatever reason, as you've probably seen in some of my other videos, my BMW motorcycle, it's an older motorcycle with kind of higher mileage, or let's say there's if that happens to break down, or if let's say there's an emergency where I need to get a hold of somebody, I felt as though this would be like an invaluable sort of lifesaver here. It would also help with the convenience, you know, for some reason or another I'm in an area and I absolutely have to make a call, even if it's not necessarily a physical or life-threatening emergency. I can get a hold of people, let friends and family know that I'm safe, everything's okay, I've made it, or I'm in transit still. So I felt this was an extremely valuable tool. Some of the things that it came with was obviously this case and the battery and, you know, the phone itself. In the box, which I still have the box, in the box there is the standard wall outlet house adapter, and these plugs on here you can take off and change to foreign plugs. There's a handful of foreign adapters in here. And then there's also the car outlet adapter as well. The only thing that I've really found to be kind of a downside about those adapters is they do not plug directly into the bottom of the phone. In the bottom of the phone you have to undo this case, you have to open up this case, and hopefully you can see it there. There's a cover that you take off, and under that cover there are the connectors. Now, let's put that aside here. This is what you plug those adapters into, and then that connects to the bottom of the phone. So this is kind of some thin plastic here, and then having to take apart the case and open up the connection port on the bottom of the phone can kind of be a little bit cumbersome and a little bit, I don't know, not confidence inspiring, having to have this hanging off the bottom of your phone. And there's these little kind of like cheap feeling lever clips here on the side that hold it on to the bottom of the phone. These power adapters, they plug into the side of this funny thing this connector like that, and then that hooks onto the bottom of the phone. So it can be a little bit irritating, frustrating, and obviously add to an already somewhat bulky phone. So that can kind of get in the way a little bit, but it does come with a car adapter and it does come with a home adapter. Inside of the case, or inside of the packaging, there's a couple other things that are kind of cool here too. This is a mag mount antenna. There's actually a magnet at the base of this and a length of wire, and obviously your connection there. And then there's an earpiece that it comes with, and then a USB cable. Now, what is this for? This is so I believe so you can use the cell phone as some sort of a modem. I'm not entirely sure that would be beneficial in most cases, unless you really absolutely had to connect to maybe get like emails or something, because I believe that the data speeds for a satellite phone are pretty poor, pretty slow. They're not like broadband type speeds. And then this is another one of those kind of lame connectors for the bottom of the phone that connect it to this external antenna. But it's kind of nice if you're inside of the car and you don't have to stop and get out of the car to be able to make a call. You can just throw this out your window on top of your roof and then connect this to the bottom of the phone, and you can dial out from inside of the car. There's also, like I said, inside of one of these boxes inside of here, some foreign international type power adapters. Alright, so let's power this thing up here. Now, one of the things with this phone that is kind of nice, if you look online at some of the satellite phones, some of the other satellite phones, some of them are a little bit bigger, some of them have a little bit of a more awkward antenna arrangement. This one's kind of neat because it slides out and you angle it depending upon if you're holding it up to your head, which particular side you're holding it up. There's on the outside a panic button. Actually it's an SOS button. You use that connects you to a call center. Then you have on this side your volume control. Oh, one more button on the top, the power button. And then on this side, I believe it's a soft key, so you can push it and it'll pull up what you want it to pull up on the screen. Let me get a little bit closer so you can see that. Now I'm indoors, and somehow or another it says that it's connected and registered on the Iridium network. So as you can see, it's a monochrome screen, and you have your standard menu: phone book, SIM phone book, messages, voicemail, data modem, call history, setup, security help. Just the basic of the basic phone menu. There's not much else to go into with the actual handset itself. It's pretty simple, it's pretty basic, very utilitarian. I wouldn't expect too much more than that. Supposedly these things are water resistant, I want to say dust proof, and drop. It'll tolerate some sort of a drop. Now I want to get into the rates for a moment. This particular phone I purchased through a company. Purchased through a company called Blue Cosmo, and they are an intermediary between Iridium, who is the service provider, and myself. And I believe you can purchase plans directly through Iridium, but sometimes there's discounts or deals or different packages through different vendors, depending upon the relationship that they have with Iridium. My particular rate plan for this phone is 150 minutes a month, and I want to say it's $110 a month is the service plan for this. Now, before you go into shock about the $110 a month, you have to keep in mind this is truly global coverage. Networks like Verizon and Sprint and stuff like that, who offer inexpensive rate plans, they're very limited in terms of you're limited to the United States and mostly populated areas. But then you also have to keep in mind in terms of the cost of the rate plans and understanding the cost of the rate plans. A company like Iridium has only 1 million subscribers, but a company like Verizon has 151 million wireless subscribers. So in terms of the cost of the network, it's subsidized by far fewer subscribers if you subscribe to Iridium. That rate plan includes text messages, unlimited free text messages. I think I have another $5 a month option to give me a United States phone number, so people that would be calling me don't have to pay any sort of long distance fees to or out of country fees to be able to call me on this phone. I want to let you know before I go overall what I think of the phone. I actually quite like it. It's a decent size. The standby time, I can get away with probably about a day and a half, maybe 2 days in standby time. It's spent quite a few miles in my jacket on my motorcycle, and it seems to still be holding up pretty good. It's not, you know, I haven't really dropped it, you know. I like the case. It seems to be holding up pretty well, but then again, I'm not exceptionally rough with the phone. Overall, I like it. It's a nice peace of mind. So, what I wanted to do was do a test call out, because I've seen a lot of videos of these on YouTube, but nobody's ever really, that I've seen, made a test call out. So I want to call WWV. Look it up online. It's a service of the NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Testing, I believe. And it's a phone number out of Colorado. I'm going to turn the phone away because I got a lot of personal phone numbers in here for a second. And there you go, that's the number. I'm going to put it on speaker for you. So hold on. You can see the service is kind of going a little bit in and out. This is the call quality. This is on speakerphone. There you go, listen. This is what it's supposed to be doing. Look it up, it's WWV. I'm going to probably fast forward a little bit till it announces the time.
At the tone, 7 hours, 17 minutes, coordinated universal time.
So that's what it's supposed to be doing. That's just a sample of the call quality. For those of you that have called that number or saw that number, I'll post it in the description below, so you can hear what it's supposed to sound like. It's a little bit quiet considering the fact that it is on speakerphone. But then again, I think the overall volume of that of this phone call is pretty quiet. So hopefully this gives a little bit of a demonstration of the call quality from an Iridium satellite phone. Alright, what you just saw there was a test call placed from this Iridium phone. In the video you might have noticed that I was indoors, which is one of the benefits of choosing the Iridium network, which is primarily the reason why I chose the Iridium network. There's other satellite cell phone networks out there. The differences are, I believe Iridium is the only network to have truly global coverage and have the number of satellites and the particular arrangement that they have them. Iridium satellites are constantly moving. I want to say they have somewhere in the neighborhood of almost 50 satellites. So if you happen to be like in a canyon, or if you happen to be at a bad angle or not really be getting all that great of service, if you can't move from the location that you're in to try and get better signal, there's a pretty good chance that at some point in time, one of those many moving satellites overhead will get coverage to you at some point in time, so you'll be able to make that a very important call or life-saving call or critical, whatever the call is that you need to make out. There's a very good chance that you'll be able to make it on the Iridium network, which I highly recommend before you buy a satellite phone that you do your research, look into the coverage areas, look into the type of network that it is. I really don't think that there's much of a better satellite network, but obviously that all depends upon what you're doing. Some of the networks, like I said, if you're going to be in certain areas where it's just like mainland United States sort of thing, and it's just don't get any cell phone coverage there, some of the stationary satellite networks might actually be a pretty good option. But if you're going to be in certain areas where, like I said, you might be in canyons or at the poles of the Earth, Iridium is definitely the network to go with. I personally, this is a purchase that I do not regret. I really like the phone. I like the peace of mind. I like having it. I like the quality of it. It's a little bit big and bulky, I'm kind of looking forward to it. If you go on Iridium's website, they're launching the Iridium Next network, I believe is what it's called. And it's supposed to be like broadband speeds and maybe better, I don't want to say better phones, because this is the only one for the most part for Iridium, So hopefully they'll have a different new generation of phones, which is kind of exciting. Anyways, if you like this video and you like the fact that there was actually a test call that you could hear a voice, the ringing signal, and some tones, and judge a little bit on the quality of the call and the audio signal. If there's any additional comments or suggestions or any information that maybe you might want to see or inquire about on the Iridium phone, please go ahead and leave those in the comments section, and I'll do my best to try and answer them. If you like the video and you want to see additional content, again, you can go ahead and include that in the comments section. I would really appreciate a thumbs up if this helped you make any sort of a decision. And if you'd like to see any additional videos as I slowly work towards uploading more things that I found interesting and might want to share with people, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It would really help me out and encourage me to make additional content. Thank you.